is presented by Benjamina Mia Casino. Licensed real estate professional since 2008. License number S01669991 LLC. Heading to Las Vegas? Thinking of buying, selling, or investing in real estate? From city view lofts, high rises, lakefront villas, mountain view homes, and all types of residential properties Vegas has to offer. Follow Mia to the road of your dreams to home ownership. Call 702-281-9063 or visit www.benjaminamiacasino.com. Mia is also on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. With Mia Casino, you can be sure you get real estate with integrity. It's a lunch hour in Vegas, and we're on the dot with Dot and Mia here on PHLV Radio.
Hello, everyone. Hi. How are you? We're broadcasting from PHLV, but I'm sitting from my home. My name is Dot, Dorothy Tome. Welcome to On the Dot. And my partner is... Come on, Mia.
Oh, I'm here live from Cabo. Hola, everyone. I'm on vacation. Hi. Viva Mexico.
Viva
Las
Mexico.
Vegas,
Mexico.
Mexico. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Mia.
Dot. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So, are we, can you hear us well?
Yes.
All righty.
So, we were talking about Love's Mighty Bond. This week, we're going to talk about homesickness, which is what I'm going through now because I am away from home. So it's very apt again.
Okay, yes.
What is homesickness? Have you ever been homesick, Doc?
Oh, yes. Terrible homesickness for my first 4 years away from the Philippines and when I got here. How about you?
Yeah, when I went to college, when I went to UP Los Baños, that was my first bout of homesickness. I was homesick for probably 2 months because I was away from my family, so I had to go home every weekend. So, yeah.
Mhm.
So homesickness is a noun, which is a feeling of longing for one's home during a period of absence from it. So, yeah, I wanted to share what are the best ways to handle homesickness with you. And I found 8 ways to handle homesickness. Maybe you can share yours. And one is to let yourself be homesick for a bit.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the others are go out and keep yourself busy. Bring home comforts to home where you are now and keep in touch with home, but not too much. Stay off social media. Explore new surroundings. Don't compare yourself to other people and plan one nice thing for yourself. Do you have any other suggestions, Dot?
I think pretty much what you wrote there, or the 8 things that you found, are I did all of them, and I did journaling. I wrote down my feelings and thoughts. I have like about 8 journals, like 1 journal per year. So I've been here for 9 years, and the journaling really helped me a lot. Yes.
Do you still get homesick? I still get homesick.
Well, once in a while. It's not even about home anymore. I feel a longing for my children and my mom and my sister. So it's no longer I think we have evolved in the longing for home, because now I have realized I have established my home here. So that's like the other home, like maybe homeland sickness. Yes, Philippine sickness. Is that Is there such a word?
I think so,
Um,
because on the way here from the airport, I was looking at, Mexico's very similar to Manila. So I kind of got homesick there too.
okay. Right. So
So,
how is this related to interdependence? We'll find out, right?
right, because our topic is homesickness and how interdependence on family, way of life, and customs you grew up with after a person when they move away from their homes. So, our guest for today is a registered medical technologist, doctor of medicine, American Society of Clinical Pathology International. She's only 28 years old, born and raised in the Philippines. And when she just moved to the United States 3 months ago, so I guess she's still homesick
Mm-hmm.
now, and is a certified international medical lab scientist, a graduate of medicine in the Philippines, wife to Alex, and mom to Giannis, the pop. And our guest is Miss Genessa Espina.
Hi everyone. Hi Dot. Thank you for having me. Hi Mia. Hi Kuya Yo. Thank you so
Um,
much for having me.
Welcome to the show, Doc Jen. How do we call you? Janessa, Jen,
Jen.
Jean, Doc Jen.
Jen.
Jen. Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Jen.
Hello.
So you've been here for only 3 months. Let's do a little
3 months.
check-in for all three of us on a scale of 1 to 10. How are you feeling right now? 1 being awful and 10 being awesome. Let's start with Mia.
in terms of homesickness or in
Of
terms,
everything, just your feeling of your emotions and your thoughts right now. Just a general well-being.
oh, I guess I'm a 10 because I'm on vacation.
Yes. Me, I'm an 8. I'm feeling like an 8. And how about you, Jen?
I'm feeling an 8
An
ngayon.
8.
Right now, yes.
Okay. My 8 would be, so I'm missing 2 numbers there because let's say 10 is our perfect number. The missing 2 there is a need for sleep. Like I've been feeling very sleepy since this morning. I woke up very early and feeling very sleepy. So I've been feeling like my eyelids are heavy. So those are the 2 points missing from my 10. Those are just bodily sensations. What about you, Jen? What's the missing 2 points?
Okay. My missing 2 points are still, one is because I'm still going through my own homesickness. I mean, I'm not hiding it in the closet or trying to suppress it. I'm allowing myself to feel sad and to feel that I miss my home, of which I grew up in. And the other one, maybe because, my husband's working and I miss him and he's not here. My puppy's downstairs. So I miss them both.
Okay. But we have an 8, right? You're feeling an 8.
Yep.
And so our conversation, let's focus on the 8 points that are making you overall happy or
Mm-hmm.
perfect. Like Mia, let's go back to Mia. She's a 10. What are those 10 factors, Mia?
Well, I guess I'm 10 because I know I'm coming back to my family, so it's temporary. It's not homesickness because I know I am coming back in a few days. Like there's a timetable, unlike probably Genesis because she just came here and she doesn't know when she's coming back to what home is to her still, which is the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm just having a grand time, because
So
I
you,
know I come back too.
yeah. So you have the sun, the sea, and the sights and the sounds of Mexico
Yes,
vacation. Yes.
I
That's
still work as a realtor, so as long as I have internet, I can still work. I can still broadcast from here, so life goes on.
life goes on happily. Yeah. So those are the things that are really working well for you and making you feel like you're on top of things, right? For me, the 8. So I talked about the 2 earlier, like lacking in sleep, and I'm a little bit hungry. I only had cereals for breakfast. I haven't had lunch yet. But the 8 points in how I'm feeling, and this is very crucial as well when we are feeling some sort of emotion or unpleasant feelings, is to one of the ways is to assign a number, and this is just temporary. It changes from moment to moment, but for now my number is an 8. So the 8 there is number one. We launched I launched with my friends the second collaborative book. So that is a big thing, right? What we did during the pandemic, Coffee Talk with Douglas. It's available on Amazon right now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Secondly, I'm healthy. I'm feeling healthy, and I'm feeling safe inside the house. The plants are healthy. Like I could see all the things around me as contributing to my wellness. So those are my 8 points, right? So let's go to our guest, Genessa. What are the 8 points you have?
Well, the 8 points I have right now, first and foremost, is first is majority of those points are just living the life that I've always dreamed of. You know, being married at this age, getting to travel, getting to explore, feeling my independence at a very different place, because it's different when you're independent and still be like very close to home. You know, knowing that you're hours and miles away from home would give you that spark of independence. Now, no one's telling you, you know, what you should do. It's all about you observing what's needed around you, and you get to have that initiative to do it yourself. So I guess to me, that's a part of growing up that I really look forward to. And the second part of that 8 is learning more about myself, I guess. Learning more about how I've evolved since I came here. I just realized that I'm socially awkward and I sometimes don't know how to small talk. You know, going to the grocery store, people here usually greet you, and sometimes I would lack the words to say. So I'm trying now to develop that knack of, hey, how you doing? Have a good one. You know, those little phrases that you just leave to people, and must have phrases, I call them. Have a good one, have a great day, have a great night. And I just discovered a part of me that I kind of know how to adapt in situations that may be, you know, uncomfortable or new to me. So, and also having, you know, married to a wonderful husband, as well as living in an amazing place, having, you know, the dream puppy that I've always wanted, and the dream puppy that my husband also wanted. So that for me sums up the 8.
And those are very powerful 8s.
Yeah.
You mentioned, Mia, go ahead.
Oh, no, no, no. I was gonna say, I think your dream puppy is very helpful for your homesickness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's just one puppy. Remember last week our guest, she had 8 dogs.
Oh my gosh, no.
She has 8 dogs. So in the context of interdependence and independence, you mentioned that a while ago, Jen. The feeling of independence you have being away from, when you say home, do you mean the Philippines or here?
Yes. When I say home, it's more of my family in the Philippines.
Your brothers, sisters, parents, like that?
Yes.
Okay. So if that's your home, what is this?
You know, that's a very interesting question. It's like someone told me when you come into a new place and start living a new life, you should hear someone, or you should allow yourself to welcome, kumbaga, welcome this new place. So allow yourself to get settled in and get acquainted and finally own it as yours, I think. So at this point in my life, I call this my new home, but I'm still growing into it. Things are very new, and it's kind of leaving home is still fresh. So I think I'm 75% acquainted or settled into my new home.
Yes. It's a good thing that you're looking at it like that, and you're very proactive, no? In in feeling your feelings, and then questioning them, questioning your thoughts, and
Exactly.
connecting with people, adapting, and not entirely resisting. Are you resisting some things here in the US?
Resisting some things. Perhaps maybe I'm afraid to drive. I'm still afraid.
Yeah.
I'm afraid going outside. Well, number one, because of the heat. Number two is I'm not sure how people react to strangers here. So I can just come up to the neighbor and tell them, "Hey, how are you?" And they might find it a bit awkward or a bit off. So that doubt of, oh, what's it like here? For the most part, people in Vegas are so friendly, like very friendly.
Yeah.
But I'm still very careful and cautious of what I do.
What can you say about that, Mia? Having lived here for like half of your life.
I think it's a normal process that people that from the Philippines or any other country go through. Especially Filipinas. People are very
Mhm.
careful of their actions, trying not to offend people. So but you'll get past it
Hope so.
Mm.
after a few months or a few. Yeah, you'll
Yes,
get it. Yeah, but
you're
that's
fine. Yeah,
yeah, you
and
yeah
that's
you.
normal. Soon you'll be like Mia, traveling all over the world.
Yay. Can't
Soon
wait.
you will have a passport like Mia does, and travel and meet people from all over the world. Like many of us, like I think it's one of the traits of the Filipino is being
Mhm.
resilient
That's
and
brilliant.
being
Mhm.
we can easily blend, even though some of us, like you said, Jen, even though when we're cautious. I think
Mhm.
it's normal to be cautious when you're new
Yeah, of
in a
course.
place. You don't just barge yourself in and say, "Hey, I own this place." I think it's normal that we feel our way gently into the new environment. But one of the best traits of the Filipino is blending with any culture, right? Like we can
Right.
easily blend. It's amazing how we can be so strongly homesick and so attached to our culture, but yet very open to blending with
Change.
new ones, right? What
Right.
have you blended into, Jen? Nicely. So that one. My first question was, what are you resisting? And so that's the fear, driving and the heat. I resist the heat up to now. I'm resisting heat, but I love the desert. I love the quiet. I love the quiet. So what do
Yeah.
you love here, Jen?
Also the quiet. Um, I what I love about it here is I really thought that if I moved to the US, I would feel a bit upbeat and I would feel that I would be racing for time all the time. But when I came here, I got actually, maybe because it's the desert and it's very silent, where I live. But nga, it's the desert, and I do agree that I like the fact that it's very still, and silent. Although it's the city of Las Vegas is known to be very bustling, people everywhere. But when I came here, I felt more at peace, more of, I was given time actually to feel the things that I feel, was given time to adjust. There wasn't so much pressure to be, the perfect cookie cutter housewife right away. I was given that time. And personally, I felt that this phase of waiting for my papers, for my green card, somehow bought me a bit of time again to know and understand myself, to
Mm.
feel things that I haven't actually felt before. One thing was, you know, my best friend passed away last October, and
Oh,
I noticed that this is the time that I was allowed to cry for her. That I'm actually expressing. I'm actually praying to her now, talking to her, in which previously I could never do that. I was in a high stress situation, with my interview with my United States visa. I was on the run all the time. I didn't have time to feel. But now that things are slowing down a bit, those emotions that were actually, or memories of the things that I just passed, milestones like my brother growing up, my sister growing up, um, or just short drives with my dad when I would be at the driver's seat. I would just remember them, in the silence or in the quiet. Then I would just feel it, and I would feel both happy and sad. But I wouldn't want it any other way, because for me, it's just savoring the memories that before I couldn't savor because I was always running around, achieving goals, searching for success and all that.
So brilliant. I really love what you said. So it's so jam-packed with gems over there. I remember Mia, right? For a while, you didn't want to go back to the Philippines because your best friend passed away.
Same time, October 2. Yeah, last year, same time as Genesis here.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So, okay. So speaking of immigration and green card and papers, tonight, that's a show here in PHLV. We're going to have immigration on your side with Kuya Yo. And I forgot the name of the lawyer, but he will be telling you about that. It will be showing up here in PHLV, in the PHLV app. Okay, so we'll take a short break for our very important diva sponsor, Mia Casino. Hang around. Don't go away, everyone. We'll take
To Las Vegas? Thinking of buying, selling, or investing in real estate? From City View Lofts, high rises, lakefront villas, mountain view homes, and all types of residential properties Vegas has to offer. Follow Mia to the road of your dreams to home ownership. Call 702-281-9063 or visit www.benjaminamiacasino.com. Mia is also on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. With Mia Casino, you can be sure you get real estate with integrity.
I am live, and I like it when Kuya Yo calls me Miss Dot. I remember my Montessori days. People call me Miss Dot. So, Mia, where are you? Your cam is gone. One of the things that I was feeling while we were on a break, and I saw Jen is fanning herself because it's so hot. I don't know what the temperature is. What the temperature is right now, right here is 99 outside. One of the things that I love about being here in the States is I can adjust my thermostat from my phone.
Wow.
From my phone. So, okay. All right, let's do that. I didn't have that. I don't have that in my house in Iloilo. How about you, Jen? What else? Continue. What else do you love about being here?
What I love about being here is probably the thought of progress and that I'm not stagnant anymore. I feel that there are milestones that I'm, taking the box, some of the milestones in my life, and living in a very comfortable home. I mean, my husband really made sure that I was comfortable and safe and well taken care of which I am, 100% grateful for.
Yeah.
And my family here, his family is very nice. And knowing my family, they don't usually have time for video calls, my mother and my dad. But now I notice that they would make time to just send probably a few quotes here and there in Messenger, leaving me parang memes or GIF or .gif files, that just makes your day for me. And my brother now, somehow they taught him how to spell hi, hello, sister, how are you? So he's communicating through me via chat, and that actually taught him spelling, sentence construction, all those things, subject and verb agreements, so that
Wow.
he could use on his modules on English, which is very helpful. Those are the little things that make me happy. Yeah.
How old is your brother?
My brother is turning 8.
Oh,
Okay. Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mia, what do you love about living here compared to the Philippines? Now, let me just give a caveat here. It's not that we're comparing as what's the best, better than or worse than. We're not comparing because our cultures are beyond comparison. But in the context of homesickness and interdependence, we're just mentioning that sometimes we need to find the best temporarily about our situation, our environment compared to another environment, simply for self-healing. Okay,
mhm.
it's not about judging the culture here and there. So Mia, what do you love best about living in the US compared to your former life, if you have any?
Well, I wanted to share with you my experience on homesickness. When I first came here in 97, I was very, very homesick. I wanted to go home. And that's all that I had in mind was going home. But then after I went home after 12 years, and, I was used to living in the States already. And when I went back to the Philippines and I stayed there for a month, I realized home was the United States already. And so I was used to the convenience of, the cleanliness and the air conditioned home everywhere, even the toilets are air conditioned. Everything is so convenient here. You just realize that things change after so many years, and you don't get that homesick anymore, and your home changes. It becomes your home already, the
Yeah.
United States. So yeah, you'll get over the homesickness once
Mhm.
you realize you have a different home already.
Yes, that's very apt, Mia. That's so on point. When we shift the perspective and the perception, where is my home?
Right.
Is it among my is home just a one thing deal? Is it
Hmm.
just a one home unit? You know, is home only a unit comprised of your blood relatives? Could home be also your next evolution?
Hmm.
Could home be, the classic? Home is where the heart is. So where's the heart? Whose heart? You know, whose heart are we referring to? Is the heart attached to the past or the present? Where is the heart? So what you said about home changes as well has a
Right.
lot to do with the interdependence, the
Hmm.
interplay of so many different factors, right? So back to Jen. Now I know you're studying A Course in Miracles. Oh, by the way, we want to say hi to Raquel Sabas.
Oh,
Kelly,
hello,
listening.
Kelly.
And
One of the
she,
past guests.
yes, she said hello. She said she's watching from, I don't know where she's watching from, maybe Facebook or the app. But anyway, Jen,
Mhm.
have you ever thought of that? Like, where's my home? Where's my
Yes, exactly.
heart?
Um, Actually, to relate it to what Mia also shared, Miss Mia shared about more of physical observations about differences when it comes to places. For me, my homesickness, um, I couldn't even, I didn't even remember a time that I missed being back at a certain place or at a certain room back at my own physical home. To me, it would usually just be the thought of my parents and my siblings eating together, talking, the smell of food, the smell of jeepneys,
Mhm.
um, every 6 p.m., the sound of crickets, or even 5:30 p.m., the smell of barbecue grilling outside. To me, it's more of what I sensed that I missed. So
Ah,
to me, the home that I pertain to would be a certain feeling or a consciousness
Feeling.
that I take with me, even though I'm out of that place. So it is a question or a debate of should I forget it? Should I bring it with me? Parang, it's a debate on my mind on how can I bring it somewhere else in which it can thrive or I can add up to my home, which is I've understand, which is just is in my consciousness. So as I came here, questions popped up like if I'm missing the feeling, then probably my home is just my state of mind in which I was at that place, my memories, my experiences, my skills that I've learned at that phase in my life. So my home hasn't actually left me. I'm just transitioning into a bigger, probably a bigger room, a bigger room with another bathroom or
I
a
love that.
house with another floor.
I love that.
I'm thinking of it that way because I would never want to trade my memories.
Uh-huh.
I'd never want to lose them for just the
That's-
comfort of not feeling sadness.
Yeah.
So I'd rather feel sad. I'd rather have that room in my house.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's so profound, Mia. No,
That's
lalim.
true, yeah.
My gosh, you need to
Yeah,
dive,
sorry.
Mia. We need to dive. Uh-huh. Because you just answered the next question
Oh,
that I had, which is which is what elements of home back there are you bringing with you here?
mhm.
So there you go. You just answered it.
Mhm.
Napaka-psychic. We are so psychic.
Oh,
Psychic. What about you? What elements of home are you bringing with you wherever you go? Let's say in our context lang sa Pilipinas and US. Or maybe, yeah.
I guess it's everything. The culture, family. The way I was brought up. That's the way I bring up my children too. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's how. That's the way of life that I'm bringing along.
Maybe we're all blessed with, not maybe, we're surely blessed with growing up with the fact that we grew up in wonderful homes or, better contexts as compared to our other kababayans, other fellows who, let's say, they came from a very sad, very, let's say abusive contexts back home, or very the struggle being very intense financially, or disharmony in the home. So escaping that kind of past and creating a new one here in the new home would be very easy for them, right? And it would be such a relief for them. For us who came from wonderful homes, wonderful backgrounds, then all we can do, the best we can do, is bring the best of that to here and now. Yeah. Any ideas generated by that in your mind, Jen or Mia?
well, I think to each his own. I mean, even kids who grew up in very sound, very amazing childhoods would usually have that struggle that they would want to leave behind, of course. But for me, um, I was grateful that I am now allowed to live very independently from other people's expectations. Because now I left the scene, I left the circle, I left the sphere or the orbit where everyone is somehow pressuring you, or when are you gonna get married? You're engaged now.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
now that you're married, when are you gonna have kids? Oh, do you want a girl or a boy? Oh, boy yung first. When are you next having a girl? All those things. I felt that um, leaving home gave that scene or the conversation a break, gave it a rest. So I kind of gave myself a rest then, also from not performing as what other people expect that I should perform. It's more about me doing what I want and dream about right now, which is a very strong and independent thing. And for me, that is something that I'm happy to leave behind and not take with me.
I love that. Did you feel that, Mia? When are you going to get married? Oh, well, you had a college sweetheart, so that was never your problem, so to speak. Yeah.
No, but I think being away from home, also being in a different country, gives you a new perspective and gives you an opportunity to make your own memories. So
I love that too.
broadens your perspective as well. So yeah.
Yeah, nice input. I love that, Mia. Broadens your perspective. And connecting that with what Jen said earlier, that thank you for that. No, thank you for that. For that kind of, certain mindsets that need to be let go of. Mia, remember that talk we had with Tita Esther about the Pinoy habits we bring abroad.
Right.
The utang, the utang na loob, the bargaining and endless bargaining and negotiating.
Exactly.
And yeah, now you're bringing up, Jen, the pressure.
Yep.
It's a mindset, like women should get married by the age of 20 something.
30.
Yes.
Oh, it's earlier than me. I think it's 25.
That's the maximum. By 30, you should be married already in the Philippines, right?
Yes.
There's something wrong with you if you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
30, wala ka na sa kalendaryo.
You can still bargain for another year because some months have 31 days.
No, but I could relate what Genesis was saying. When I was new here, I was telling my husband, how come people are saying, how are you? And don't even bother listening to the answer. It's just like saying, how are you? But then they don't look at you to listen if you're really okay or you're not okay. It's just like something they say to strangers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that bothered me a lot when I was new here too.
And now it doesn't.
And now no, it doesn't. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. Okay, whatever.
How are you? Okay, fine, thank you.
Yeah. Yes. So we are independent of certain mindsets, where we're happily away from those mindsets. Like you should get married, you should have kids, you should finish college. In the land of so many opportunities like this one, the US, like I was shocked when a high school degree is okay. It's acceptable enough for you to get a job. We didn't have that, right?
Right.
You need to have a college degree. Jen, you
Correct.
finished your degree in the Philippines, right?
Yes, I finished it last 2019. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
So what are you dependent on? So we talk about independence. So now we're bringing the conversation to dependence, because interdependence means nobody exists on his own. Everybody needs everything and everyone. Who or what are you dependent on right now that contributes to your overall well-being?
Okay. So I'm just gonna lay it down very honestly.
Okay, right now, lay it down.
Number one would be probably the thumbs up, the regular thumbs up from people, affirmations. I'm not a perfect person, so I must admit and be very honest that it makes me happy to see that people recognize the hard work that I put in my current life right now. And the second thing that that I used to be dependent on, now I'm trying to work it out, is guidance. My parents are a big part of how I progress through my life or how I lead my life. Usually it would be the guidance usually of my family. So Shout out to Buena Fe and Agustin family. Hi. Andito po ako
Hi.
sa joke. With those people that I grew up with, there is always guidance. No, not has been. It's not in past tense. It's always going to be there. The guidance that they give me right now as an adult, being the head of my own household, it's difficult actually to manage what I do in the home. I'm not sure what to do first. So I'm dependent on that. As I guess a young wife or a young adult or going into adult, I still somehow need that push to do what is next, ideally, because I'm afraid to make mistakes. As a young person, I'm kind of afraid to make mistakes. What if I put white and colored clothes in the washer? Will it mess it up? Do I use hot water only in whites? I mean, I'm not sure. That guidance, you could ask your mom, the convenience of just calling her, and the third one would be is right now, because I'm still waiting for my papers, I still can't practice. So admittedly, I'm actually dependent on helping other people. Somehow that gives me so much joy, or that burst of endorphins like gymmers would get from a workout when I would help patients or just talk to a random stranger, that would come to us in the clinics or in the hospital. That gives me so much joy, just asking them how they are and asking them about their kids. Why did you name your kid this way? Or I like your shirt today. What's the story behind that? All those things that I used to be doing in the Philippines, that I was very active, and I was doing it on a daily basis since I was an intern there. But right now that was put on hold, and I noticed that I kind of want to care for everything. I want to grow plants. I want to care for a pet. I want to buy more plants. I want to buy more stuff for my pet. And I was just so obsessed with caring for things. Then that gave me like the light bulb moment that probably that's something that I depended on.
Nice. I'm gonna go over to your house if you give me your address. Then we're gonna take some. I will take you to Star Nursery and get some plants wherever. Not an ad. They should probably advertise with us. Mia. So very deep. Your answers, Jen, are very deep, and I appreciate that you're going deep into the soul. Me, I'm just dependent on the aircon, the car, dependent on my husband for income, because I decided, well, he offered to me that he said, when you come here, you don't have to work. Wow. I said, oh my God, that's good. Great. Yes.
Can I depend on John too?
What's that?
Can I depend on John too?
Oh, yeah, sure you can. What are you dependent on, Mia?
Internet.
Internet. Oh, I'm dependent on the internet. Yes, Jen.
Internet. I'm dependent on my family and my friends, family and friends, and my clients.
Your clients, yes.
Yeah.
So interesting. God, yes. It's so interesting how we say that we are dependent on these things, or even these concepts and issues and energies within us. Like you said, Jen, you're still dependent on affirmation and guidance from your elders, perhaps. But when the time comes that these things are removed from us, we will realize that, yeah, I can stand. I can still stand. I can let go of these things that seem to be very big for me right now. But eventually, when I have to be given choices like this or your life, this or your kids, that or your inner peace, we will choose the most valuable ones, right? I just let go of affirmations, Jen. While you're dependent on that, I really literally cried when I realized that, my God, I'm so dependent on how people value my decisions or my actions. I said, I don't want that. I don't want to anchor my happiness on
Exactly.
such things. But see,
Mm.
I'm twice your age, probably. I'm twice your age. So don't worry, don't rush. You don't have to be where I am. All right. Mia, what else?
No, see, I'm dependent on being at peace with, as long as I'm at peace with myself, I, I can be confident I can do anything.
Yeah, yeah. Right, right. Jen, what else?
Um, I'm dependent also on my husband. I'm dependent on AC, on Wi-Fi, dependent
Mhm.
on learning because that's how I keep my mind busy. My trick too. I wouldn't usually tell this to my friends, but I'm not sure if they take it seriously. That if I'm studying or learning something new, taking a course, reading a book, it for me that mental work would be usually to prevent me from, straying, or my thoughts would stray somewhere else. So I'd rather invest in something. So I think I'm dependent on that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's not really bad, no? To be independent, to be dependent, and to have such the joy of interdependence.
Right.
They all have their place
Mm.
in our evolution as a human being. I mean, I'm not talking about the Darwinian evolution from monkey to human being. What I'm saying is from our own sense of isolation to oneness, to feeling we are all connected, interconnected, from isolation to connectedness. So that's the kind of evolution that I'm talking about. Um, well, then, I welcome you, Jen. We welcome you, Mia and I. We welcome you to the Las Vegas
Yay.
to someday when we have parties, maybe when you can
Yes,
drive, or when you're
please.
just when you're living near me. If I can find you, you are.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. What else are we not addressing? This is our final episode for the month of July.
All right. Hi, yes.
Yeah, this is our last episode. We're saying goodbye to the topic of interdependence. And this is brought to us, to you, dear viewers, by Mia and Dot, in cooperation
Thank
with
you.
the University of the Philippines Alumni Association of Nevada, and of course, PHLV Radio. What are your last words, Jen? We're coming
Well,
to like 2 minutes to go.
yes. Probably I'm just so grateful to have this opportunity to talk with, two amazing women, with Kuya Yo. And probably just a quick message that
To
probably
people
it's
who are homesick, especially, yeah.
people who are homesick. First and foremost, it's okay. It's a phase. It's gonna pass. Some days are harder. Sometimes it's never gonna go, but you'll find yourself finding that light always at the end of the tunnel. You know the saying. And it's okay. It's okay to not be perfect. And it's okay to feel sad and be homesick. Yeah.
And you were going to say something else.
What was I was?
I don't know, aside from
Well,
that.
probably since it's about interdependence, So the major takeaway is not just to own up to become independent, because it's okay to depend on something or someone. Because you depend on your books to learn, you depend on your professor for instruction, you depend on your parents for guidance. It's all about how those people or how these things or resources you use to become better always. Because sometimes you become dependent on a certain, like me, I'm dependent on soft drinks, and my gosh, until now I'm still dependent on that. And it's how you use it to become a better person, I guess.
And also, yeah.
Mhm.
And also, how long are we? Because they come in stages, right?
Yes.
They come and they go, because that's the nature of change. So if we're hanging on to whatever it is we're dependent on, when we're hanging on for dear life onto that particular thing and not allowing something else or something within us to come forth and be our guidance, our inner guidance, then that's called attachment, and it's going to be debilitating for us. Very nice point, Jen. Thank you so much. So I'm thanking our audience as well for staying with us, and Kelly, if you're still there. Okay, so that ends our show for today, and I'm gonna let Mia take us out of here. She's going back swimming.
No, but it's a good interplay for interdependence too, because we were gonna go to we were gonna hike before the show, and I was like, there should be internet there because I'm gonna have a radio show in a few minutes. So I realized I was dependent on internet, so I said maybe we should hold off for a while, and my friends were like, sure. So there was interdependence there. And so, yeah, there was cooperation and dependence on the internet. So it was an interplay of our whole show for today.
Hey, hello to your friends too.
Yeah, and there would be no Dot and Mia if there's no Mia, right? So, so just Dot for today.
No.
Because Mia's in Cabo.
I'm
Dependent
on Mia. I'm dependent on Mia.
Oh, that's so sweet though.
Interdependent on Kuya Yo and Dot.
Yes. We are all connected. That's the main point. Yeah.
Thank you, Genesis, for ghosting.
Yes.
Thank you for having me here. I really had a good time.
What's your quote, Mia girl?
My quote is, the magic thing about home is that it feels good to leave, and it feels even better to come back.
Oh my God.
I love that.
Yes, I love that too. Thank you. So home is where you are, Genessa.
I'll be back home soon. See you soon.
See you soon.
Stay safe.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Shout out
Everyone.
Love. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Miss you. Love you. Bye. See you next week.
See you live next week. Bye, everybody.
Heading to Las Vegas? Thinking of buying, selling, or investing in real estate? From City View Lofts, high rises, lakefront villas, mountain view homes, and all types of residential properties Vegas has to offer. Follow Mia to the road of your dreams to home ownership. Call 702-281-9063 or visit www.benjaminamiacasino.com. Mia is also on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. With Mia Casino, you can be sure you get real estate with integrity.
This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio.